In this lesson, we'll cover the rotate command. So let's say you placed an element inside of Revit, but it's not exactly oriented correctly. You need to rotate it. We'll use the rotate command to spin or revolve the object around a base point. So let's start by selecting an object first. So I'm going to rotate a diffuser. So let's go ahead and select one of the diffusers. That's one of the squares with an X through it. Once you select the diffuser, it's highlighted. You'll see the dimensions for its placement, and the properties box on the left will display the information for that diffuser. Now to start the rotate command, go to the middle of your ribbon, and on the modify panel, click rotate. Now what displays right now is the base point or center point of the object that you're rotating. By default, it joins or it snaps it to its center point. And if you move your mouse around that, you're going to see a line extend from it. It's asking you now to place this line so you can measure in degrees, one direction or another, how far you want to rotate. So for example, I'm just going to drag until my mouse holds the line vertically, then left click. After you left click, it places that line, and then it pulls a reference line showing an angle from the previous line. This is now how far you're going to rotate and in the direction you're going, counterclockwise or clockwise. So let's move the mouse in a clockwise fashion until you see 45 degrees, or you could key in whatever angle you want. Once you see the angle, such as 45 degrees, go ahead and left click. After you do that, it rotates your object 45 degrees about the base point. Now, let's say you didn't want to rotate it about the base point. You wanted to rotate it about an end or some other point. You can actually drag that base point, that little circle, to a different position. To illustrate that, let's start the rotate command again. This time, let's actually start the rotate command first. So on the ribbon, go to the Modify tab, then go to the Modify panel, and click Rotate. Once you do that, Revit is asking for you to select whatever you want to rotate. Let's go ahead and select one of the other diffusers. Now, once it's selected, it's highlighted in blue. Revit is basically saying now, do you want to select anything else? If you don't, you need to tell it that you're ready to rotate. So I'm ready to rotate, so let's just go ahead and hit the Enter key. Now, I see the base point right in the middle, and I see my line pulled out from the base point. If you want to move that actual base point in the middle, move your mouse over it, hold the left mouse button down, and then simply drag it to a new location. I'm going to drag it to the lower left corner, and then release. Now you actually see that is the center of rotation. And once again, it's asking me to place my initial angle line. And I'm just going to pull it left so it's horizontal, and left click. And now I can start to rotate either clockwise or counterclockwise. Let's go counterclockwise 45 degrees. Left click again to place it. And now the object rotates 45 degrees about the base point which we moved from the origin. Now you can undo these just like we undid a lot of the previous commands. So to undo, go to the quick launch bar at the very top of Revit, click undo, and it will undo in sequence the last two steps we did. So in summary, what we covered in this lesson was rotate. Starting the rotate command by first selecting an object or selecting rotate. We also looked at moving the base point from the center of the object where it's placed by default to a different location on the object.